Hey everybody, big welcome back. Today we're doing a little flight along the Welland Canal. This is just something I'd filmed back in the summer and never uploaded, but I wanted to use it as the backdrop to discuss some drone laws and what they are, what they're not, what they should be, and yeah. So why don't we just go ahead and get right into that? First of all, I'll mention that I am in Canada, and so our drone laws and regulations and guidelines and all of that may be different from wherever it is you're located. So please keep that in mind. Also, I'd like to say that anything that I tell you in this video is of my interpretation or opinion. It doesn't mean that it holds true. So, I definitely could be wrong or misinterpreting something. So, please keep that in mind. So, let's go ahead and we will talk about first what it is that the Canadian government says to do. They say fly during the daylight and in good weather, not in clouds or fog. And so I guess I'll cut off there and I'd say, okay, I agree with not flying through the clouds and fog. It should be, to me, it should be at the pilot's discretion. If I want to fly straight up above my head, or you know what I mean, and I'm familiar with the area. I'm in a park. I've flown through the fog before, but very, very carefully. I would never go on a very far flight in the fog, but just up over my head to peep down. It looks like you're flying through the clouds, obviously, but only going up maybe 100 feet in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I disagree with that, with exception. You know what I mean? But it should be at your discretion, or maybe a maximum feet, something like that. But who's going to enforce it? Keep your drone in sight where you can see it with your own eyes, and not using the onboard camera, smartphone, monitor, whatever. I disagree with this one. They've got to get with the times. These are new guidelines. These are all guidelines, by the way. I don't know. There's no real clear definition of law and guideline, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to say I disagree with this one. Why? Because if you have what should be one of basically a number of approved drones, and that's where they've proven statistically that they're able to return to home, or crash avoidance and all that, then basically it should be an approved drone for out of line of sight. So if you've got a new DJI Phantom 4 Pro, or a Mavic, or Phantom 4, or even Phantom 3, the return to home, as long as it's calibrated properly on the compass, is what I would consider probably 99.9% reliable. So it's got a great reliability to it. Um, so you should be able to fly out of line of sight with these particular drones. I'm not saying every drone out in the market, but certain drones should be, the manufacturer should be able to apply or something like that, and have that model exempt from that. Make sure your drone is safe for flight before takeoff. Absolutely, it's who's gonna check that, but that obviously should be a no-brainer. I always have a look at my drone. You know what I mean? If I ever saw something wrong with it, I definitely wouldn't take off. Know if you need to apply for special flight operations. Well, that doesn't apply here because we're talking about hobby pilots. If you're commercial, doing this for real estate, farming, something like that, then your situation would be a little different. As of right now, uploading to YouTube is not deemed to be commercial. Even if you make money off it, you still maintain the rights. You're not selling it. You could post it, take it down, everything, edit it all as you please. So as of right now, it's non-commercial, and hopefully it stays like that. Hopefully, the government embraces this technology and the beauty that these things can provide. And let's continue along here. Respect the privacy of others. Avoid flying over private property or taking photos, videos without permission. Well, a few things on that. First of all, I would never want to invade somebody's privacy, so I agree with that. If you're hovering over somebody's backyard 30 feet up and watching their barbecue, that's it's tasteless and wrong. Just I would never do that kind of thing. But flying over private property, there's nothing they can do about that. Nobody owns the airspace over their property, so as long as you're not doing it in a harassing manner, if you're just buzzing through the neighborhood and you pass over somebody, there's no issue with that for me. Um, But once again, so I would say, I agree with this rule to a limit. Obviously, you're going to be video recording while you're flying over it, and there's nothing illegal about that. So, um, there's also some things about the photographer's right to photography. If you could see it from the road, nobody, like, road, sidewalk, any kind of public place, or up on a balcony, if you could see somebody without having to sneak in, then they had no expectation of privacy. Let me mute my phone here. Sorry about that, guys. The phone's always destined to ring when I make a video. Um, so anyhow, like I was saying, um, so the do not fly list is do not fly closer than 9 kilometers, and then it says 5 nm. Anyway, I don't know what the hell that means, but nautical miles maybe. But from any aerodrome, which is airport, heliport, helipad, seaplane base, etc. Um, I don't think 9 is really a thing. I think, honestly, somewhere between 3 and 5. And I don't include heliports or helipads or anything like that. Airports make sense, but not the helipad ones. They're not as frequently used, and I don't think a drone could even get near a helicopter if it tried. The downwash would be insane. Um, but all right, that's their rule. Don't go higher than 90 meters. I think that's absolutely garbage. I'll tell you, I think that we should be given 1,000 feet, and passenger planes, so like little Cessnas and stuff, should be regulated to be above, say, 1,200 feet. Um, and because it would be awesome to be in one of those little planes, but it's you know what I mean. You gotta give a little and take a little, but 90 meters, that's very, very low. That's a 30-story building. Um, and then here's the biggest one, though. It's closer than 150 meters to people, animals, building structures, or vehicles. That is absolutely ludicrous. I don't know where they came up with that. Um, it's not even manageable. You're going to have to go to the middle of nowhere. That takes out every single city park or sports field, or like ones, I mean, where they're not playing. It's not even remotely possible to pull that off. Listen, I'm going to add some footage so we can continue this. Give me one sec. All right, and then it says not to fly over populated areas, large groups of people, including sporting events, concert, and all that. I think it should be a case-by-case basis. You know what I mean? They're basically, where are the numbers that they create these laws or guidelines on? People aren't getting hurt all the time by these things, like like the media or whatever would have you believe. Not to say that they can't, of course they can, but they're just not. I was looking online at something about the deaths caused by kites every year. Google that, and you'll see how many people are getting killed by kite strings. And it's, I mean, nobody's been killed by one of these yet. And I'm not saying we should wait till somebody does, but I'm just saying the facts are not there. A drone has never hit a plane, never caused a car pile up, never killed anybody. Obviously, I mean these kind of drones, not military drones. But then we continue on. Near moving vehicles, highways, bridges, busy streets, or anywhere that you can endanger or distract drivers. Once again, I think it should be, pilot's discretion. Flying over a road itself poses no danger. If you're flying 3 feet above the ground, yes. If you're flying 30 feet above the traffic, odds are they never even knew you were there. Within a restricted and controlled airspace near military bases, prisons, forest fires, and all that. I agree with these, but being able to get permission, obviously not forest fires, but I've asked for permission to fly over a prison. I'm still waiting to hear back, and so if I get permission, I absolutely will be. If I don't, I won't. And then anywhere you may interfere with first responders, once again, that's up to interpretation. I've flown over a few police incidences or an accident, whatever, fire, and I stayed high enough not to interfere. And I think that you know, they may say that goes against their guideline, though. It depends what they define it as, but the whole 150-meter rule rolls in, and this way you can't fly in a single city anyway. So um, I would say yes and no. I would say maintain at least 100 feet from them, and you should be good to go. Uh, that's my opinion on what the laws should be. I don't cover everything in that. Obviously, I could drag this on for hours and hours, but I just figured I'd give you a little insight as to what I thought, because I do get a lot of Dudley Do-Rights commenting when I fly over people or near stuff. And anyways, that's my 2 cents, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the footage. We'll see you next time. Please remember to like and subscribe below. It helps me grow my channel, and I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.